And yes, it is the second session on Sports Check, and definitely we are having a conversation, and we have got two gentlemen and a lady in studio with us. And listen, these two gentlemen were in competition on consecutive weekends, but there is a third, I think he's traveling back. He was also in competition in the UK, but it's about these two. At African competitions, they beat the best of the field, and they are now going to be competing in England. Let me start on my far left. He's been here, and welcome back, Peter Washiori. They call him the King.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And he has qualified for the ADC Darts World Championships. It's going to be taking place at a place where he's already been, and he's already made that his second home. It's going to be in Portsmouth, where they've got the Models Series Studios. That's where you're going to be That's where he's going to be competing. And in the middle, we've got David Munywa. He has qualified for the PDC World Championships. Now, David is going to be playing at one of the most iconic darts venues in the world. It's known as the Alexandra Palace. In the dart circles, they simply call it Ali Pali. In England, they call it the People's Palace. Munywa, karibu.
Thank you so much.
And one lady who's always making sure that people, the story is told. She's actually very strong. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will start with you, Munywa. You know, two competitions about 3 weeks ago is what you had. Sure. And there was the African Championship won by Ocheng. He defeated Washiori. But for you, it was at that qualifiers. And I looked at the match brackets, and having to whittle down outfields that Sunday, that particular Sunday, what was that for you?
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting me here. It's a great honor. That event, I had prepared it for an year. I was waiting for it, and I was ready for it, actually. That was actually the greatest thing I would have done for myself to win it. I'm very happy, actually, right now to be the Africa World Qualifier. Sure.
And you've mentioned a year, because last year Kenya hosted, I think, right in Parklands at the Broadwalk. This time round was at Sikinion Club. Yeah. What was the experience? Because the Broadwalk Championship, the one at Broadwalk, really changed the face of the sport here in Kenya. Yeah. And we saw, you know, everyone suddenly hitting, you know, averages going up, more competitions coming up.
Yeah, actually, the first World Champion qualifier that happened in Kenya last year, it opens our eyes and opens our mind. Now we get focused, so we can have a big thing in our country. So everybody now, actually this time, most of players were ready to compete, because they know as much as we are doing practice and we're engaging ourselves in that, there's something we are competing about. So the experience was amazing. We found, actually, Ashori did a great thing to be in finals with Karelson, and he did quite well. And everybody was like, so it's possible, so we can do this stuff. We get back to boat. Most of us who are there, we get back to our practice, and now we were ready, most of us were ready to this one. Yeah.
Okay. Washori tuje kwako. First of all, hapa Ocheng, hiyo siku ya that Saturday, if the final with Ocheng for him to take the Africa Open, let's talk about that first.
Asante sana kwa hii nafasi mmenipea kuwa hapa. Na hiyo mchezo ilikuwa kama mchezo zingine tu za kawaida. Ila hali kila mtu alikuwa amejituma kabisa kwa nguvu zake zote. Sababu kila mtu pia alikuwa anataka hiyo nafasi ya kufika pale. Na siwezi sema ni mimi mzuri zaidi. Sababu pia yote alikuwa ameregister ile game, alikuwa na tumaini pia yeye ni mzuri. Sasa ndio maana tulipishana hapo, lakini akawa ni mzuri kwangu.
Sawa, akushinda siku ya pili, Jumapili haikukwenda vizuri hiyo siku.
Siku ya Jumapili yenyewe nilijaribu kufika pale ile wakati nafaa, lakini kwa kweli siku hakuanga asifanani. Yeah. Na niliweza kubwagwa na mwenzangu pia hapa Mkenya tu bado. Lakini saa zile nilibwagwa na Mkenya mwenzangu. Wale watu wenye tulikuwa tunaangalia sana sana ni wa South Africa. Walikuwa wanasema hii shot tushaenda naye. Lakini pia nilikuwa najua nyuma yangu kuna vigogo pia watafanya na watashikilia hiyo nafasi vizuri. Yeah.
Actually, let me talk about that Sunday. The draw was in such a way that there was going to be an all Kenyan semi-final.
Sure.
Eventually.
Sure.
You won it. Hebu tuambie juu ya hiyo game.
Yeah, actually, we had predicted it. We've seen, right now we are not in a position to do these stars our own because we depend on South Africa. They're the one who is doing them. They're the draw, yeah? So we had to be ready. Whoever gets the position to get to the final will be good enough to compete with the opponent. So lucky enough, I found chance to be the final. I knew maybe there was a lot of challenges because it may be our first time to have the kind of pressure, tension, that thing. But now I was determined. I think I was ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually he did win he did win the final and qualify. Now that you know you've qualified for the World PDC, kumbuka there is professional darts and amateur darts. Penny, what is this? Because you're
okay now.
And how open is the sport such that you can be playing pro here and amateur on this side?
Well, amateur is still a good platform, considering even the prize money. And it's still good exposure. It might be amateur, but it's still a major tournament. But of course, PDC is where everyone is.
Okay, just hold on. Just hold for a minute. Penina will be coming back to that about the PDC and ADC. But now let's move over to Kitui. It's 1 week to the Mashujaa Day celebrations that are there. And Energy Principal Secretary Alex Wachira is speaking on last mile connectivity in Kitui. Let's pick that up.
Maybe you can start by telling us what we should expect from this particular farm this week, and maybe what are your short-term plans in terms of connecting more households to the power grid.
Thank you very much. This week we are having the Energy Week. We are very excited as the Ministry of Energy together with the SAGAs. The Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation is a corporation that is mandated to accelerate rural electrification in all the 290 constituencies. So what you are seeing that is happening in this county, it is the same thing that we have replicated in the 290 constituencies, including the constituencies that are far away from the grid. We have solutions that are off-grid solutions so that we make sure that every Kenyan has gotten electricity. Specifically this week, we are excited that we are in the county of Kitui. We are going to be launching several projects, last mile projects in all our constituencies. And I want to assure the residents of Kitui that we are in all the 8 constituencies, and we have, like you have heard, invested about 2.3 billion for purposes of ensuring that every Kenyan in this county gets electricity. So this week we shall be having very many programs within the communities because it is important that we bring electricity to this region for purposes of ensuring the socio-economic transformation for our communities. We have seen the transformation that electricity brings to our communities. Small businesses are sprouting. Our students are improving because they are having longer study hours. Our medical institutions can now work 24 hours. We have businesses that are operating 24 hours because we also have installations that we have done like the high masts in markets to ensure that even the businesses benefit from this transformation that we are seeing today.
There's a payment matrix that maybe you have started where the county pays and then the CPFs and Derek. So how does it work? How many counties are on board?
We have a program we call the Matching Fund Program. And this Matching Fund Program is a program that is a shilling for a shilling, where when you give us a shilling, we give you a shilling. So we are able to do more projects. This matching fund is a project that we are collaborating with all the counties and NCDF. So far we have been able to collaborate with about 22 counties we are looking to ensure that we sign MOUs with all the counties so that we can be able to bring more electricity to all our counties. The purpose for this program is to ensure that we augment exchequer funding and, more importantly, that we accelerate rural electrification. Since it started, we have been able to raise over 4 billion shillings, and we know that by the time we are finishing with the 41 counties, we'll have done more. We have also been able to work with almost 32 constituencies, and we are urging all the constituencies and all the counties that have not joined this program to please join this program, because together we can do more.
How much do you need for that particular project?
The funding, the matching fund project, like I said, it depends on how many people come to us, so we match what people bring. It is a project that it does not have a limit. The more, the better, and the merrier. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Asante sana.
Rerak MD, who was speaking, and remember, it's Energy Week, and this is happening with a focus, all around the country, but it starts in Kitui County. Kitui are going to be hosting the Mashujaa Day, so we've got our team out there. They're going to be doing all that work and giving us the build-up and the preparations for that event. At this point, I'd also like to introduce our sign language interpreter, Lensa Odingo. And we get back to our conversation. It's about darts. 2 Kenyans have qualified for World Championships. Peter Washiori has qualified for the ADC World Championships. That is the amateur darts, group. Then we've got David Munoz qualified for the PDC Professional Darts group, and we've got Penina there here with us. Penny, I would like you to come back, to the ADC and PDC separation. But before that, a colleague of mine, his name is Ben Troy Joy. He says congratulations to you. Right. He's going to be watching closely. Let me just give you the names of the people he's mentioned. Luke the Nuke, Humphreys, Clayton, Van Gowin, the Asp, and the rest. Those are real people. The Asp. Yeah. Come on. Asp is a very poisonous snake, and and all of those people. But he's very happy. He congratulates you.
Thank you.
Najua atakuwa akitazama, so tell him the next place ndio aende pale mumpeleke mbio pia yeye akicheza. So Penina, ADC, PDC, the differentiation.
Yeah, so the amateur darts circuit, that's, as the word suggests, an amateur tournament, but still a premium event, because when you consider the prize money that Washiori will be battling for amongst 56 players. But Professional Darts Corporation, the PDC qualifier, which World Championship, which Munyo has qualified for, that's like the cherry on top of the cake. That's the tournament everyone is eyeing globally. We're looking at around, how many players? Is it around 124? Yeah? 123. Yeah, so he's playing 123 players, and now looking to meet the Luke Littlers and the Humphreys. And of course, the prize money being at £1 million. So that's pretty much the difference.
Well, you can see the amount of money that is there, but also, one of the things that has been happening in here, and because you've been a very big part of it, it's all started with Washiori, is playing in the Modest Super Series. And Carl C was there last week.
Yeah.
It was his second time there. Washiori, tutakuja kwako, kwa sababu wewe umekuwa huko, as playing individually and also with the pairs. So let's first of all start, with what Modest has done and the impact it has had locally.
Yeah, so Modest has been a good platform for Kenyan players. We had the international pairs early in the year, and then we also had Washiori playing in the singles debut. And just last week, Manpreet Kalsi was playing, and he's performed really well. He didn't make it to the finals, but you can see the level he's put in this particular week, and he played very well in the group stages, and we're looking to have more Kenyan players next year. It's opened up for more Kenyan players to participate in this tournament.
Washiori, wacha nije kwako, because February or March. So you went there for the first time, Kitu ya kwanza niliambiwa ulienda na bangili mingi sana.
Yeah. Tunaziita souvenirs.
Souvenirs.
Yeah. So na wazungu pia wanapendanga souvenirs sana. So kwa hiyo kwa mind hata nikitoka hapa nilikuwa nasema lazima nikuta marafiki pale na niweze kuwakabidhi. So nilikuwa nimejipanga tu vizuri na hizo souvenirs zangu. At least nilikuwa najua hakuna watu wengi, lakini nilikuwa nimejaribu kubeba kiasi chenye nitaweza kupea kila mtu alisikia ameridhika.
So ulicheza kule modus mara ya kwanza, ukifika pale ukiwekwa group A, mambo ni mawili. Ukuwe mshindi wa group A, ungoje Jumamosi usiku. La pili, utoke B, ukitoka A uende group B ama group C, then look for a way to get into the finals night. Yako ilikuwa na hiyo experience yako ilikuwa namna gani kucheza kwanza siku 6 mfululizo?
Okay, fine. Pale tukienda kabisa huanga tunataka hiyo group A kwanza ndio huanga tunaingia, lakini huanga tunatafuta number 1. Sasa ukimiss hapo unajua uko na siku nyingine at least ya kujitetea. So kila mtu wachezaji wale wote wanakuanga hapo kwa group A huanga wana target number 1 ndio wapumzike kidogo at least angalau hizo siku 3 wapatane Saturday night kwa finals. Yeah.
Sasa wewe experience yako ya kwanza, kwa sababu sasa ulicheza siku zote, tuanze na group A ndio ukaingia.
Uchovu ilikuwa, lakini uchovu si sana. Sasa unajua siku za kwanza pia hujazoea ile stage, wasiwasi uko nao, lakini venye unaenda ukikaa ndio wasiwasi inaenda ikikuisha na unaweza sasa kufocus na ile kitu imekupeleka huko. Yeah.
Aya, na tuongelee jambo lingine. Ya kwamba sasa masaa kule kuna tofauti kubwa. Najua hizi mechi zingine za group A mchana we are seeing it is we know from around 11 am or 12 pm we'll do that, but when it comes to finals night 11 pm
pia
huko ni sasa
pia huko inakuwa na challenge sababu bado hujaadapt, bado hujazoea hiyo masaa. Sasa ni kama unacheza hapa saa hiyo saa 7 saa 8 of which you are so exhausted, umechoka zaidi, lakini unajaribu tu sababu pia wenzako wako hapo. Yeah. Mchana maybe umekaa ukifanya mazoezi yako, alafu unajaribu ku maintain masaa yako pia kuna ile ya ku relax pia.
Pairs, you were in the pairs with Manpreet. What was that experience?
Pia pairs kulikuwa na challenge nyingi. Sababu hapa sana hatujazoea kucheza pairs. Alafu sasa kuna ile kubuy time ya wachezaji. Umezoea kucheza na mchezaji akitoka hapo ushacheza. Akitoka unacheza. Sasa pale unangojea wachezaji wengine watatu hiyo time kubai. Sasa hiyo ndio ilikuwa challenging sana. Sababu hiyo kitu ni kama isha kutoka kwa maji tena unaenda kuanzia huko.
But yeah, sasa unajua kwa hivyo lazima unapiga hesabu ya mwenzako kwanza.
Lazima upige. Ile balance wewe umecheza mio umebakisha. Ile balance amecheza tena unaanzia kupangia kutoka hapo. Yeah.
Okay. So Mujwa, let me come to you. You've seen them play and you've watched models. And I'm sure, I mean, it's something that is interesting. It's growing a lot here in Kenya.
Sure.
What have you seen, from the experiences and what he has shared? Now that you're going to be playing, number one, pahali kuna kelele mbaya. Tuanzie hapo. Let's start with that.
Yeah, most of the time, when it is your first experience, it's difficult, kind of. But for me, this thing was in my mind even before I went there. I was prepared for it. And Washuri opened doors and eyes for us. We can see how he traveled to pray during different times. I watched him throughout. He was good in certain time. He was then shaked off the certain moment. So I can tell different times, different performance. So you can be ready. If you need to relax, you need to get time to maybe rest, because time differs and also places. In early party, the noises, people are a lot, the atmosphere is different from even models. So I think from models experience, I've learned that things might change, different times. So I'm ready for anything, any day.
You want to start training at 2 a.m.?
Now, like now, what we even do it here right now at 2 we are on board. Right now, not even before we won the Africa World Qualifier. We used to practice at 2. There are people who does it. We have a group where at 2 there are people who are on board. And the good thing right now, everybody can watch it, is online. So we are doing it now. Any day, even any time we can be on board. You fit for that.
Penny, let me now, talk about what the last 1 year has been for. Just, give us the full experience for the local circuit. I know there was an event. I mean, you've been going around the country. Nakuru said, "Atasit nataka, we want one."
Yeah.
You started here. Kisumu say they want one. Eldoret want one. What's the whole change of scene now?
Yeah. So everything changed ever since the qualifier last year. And we saw there's a big gap in especially the professional side of darts in Kenya. So we've been just working tirelessly to ensure that we're in most counties. We're in Nakuru, we went to Nanyuki, we're looking to go to Mombasa. So we've been doing a lot of events from the match plays, which builds up to the Nairobi Darts Masters in December, where we'll see players from all over the country, a few international players coming in. So it's just organizing tournaments, preparing players to just, play as many tournaments as they can, get used to playing in different environments. So up to this point, where actually this weekend we're in Nakuru for one of the safari tours. So, and most of the players will be joining for that as we prepare for the December.
2 things I want you to do. Now, we're going to start with this weekend and explain. Just tell us about that safari tour, how it works, and how people can get in.
Yeah. Okay, so the safari tour is part of the match play. So we have 5 in a year. So this is the 4th one. And it's just a registration for players, 64 players for the tournament. So we have our links on Sirwa pages. We have Instagram, Facebook. You can reach us via WhatsApp as well. You just register as a player and you can participate. So this one accumulates, it's an order of merit tournament. So you accumulate points, which are then going to be tallied up for the December event, which automatically qualifies you to play at the Nairobi Darts Masters.
Okay. Yeah. So this one event, Nakuru is number what on the series?
It's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
So there is only one more. After Nakuru?
It's the Nairobi Darts Masters.
Nairobi Darts. So the point scoring system, just explain to people so that they do understand, so that they don't see it, basically come out of your football perspective.
Yeah. So it's just ukishinda your number 1, unapewa 40 points. So you accumulate from top up to 32. Yeah, so depending on your position, you'll accumulate 40 points in each tournament. Yeah.
Very, very well. And you've mentioned something called a match play. Describe that format.
Okay, so match play is a 64-player tournament. So we have match play 1 up to 5. So in each match play, we have 64 players, 8 categories. So this happens every 2 months. And then the tours are part of the match play. It's just that we call them tours because they're outside of Nairobi, but it's the match play safari tour. So this time we're going to Nakuru. We're looking at next year going back to Nanyuki, and we're in conversation to go to Mombasa. Yeah.
All right. So very well. So and it's all knockouts.
Yeah, it's
Cuts
all
from 64, 32, 16.
No, it starts from group stage. Day 1 is group stage. Then the second day is knockout.
Knockout.
Yeah.
Now, this is competition. David, no, sorry. David, I mean, for each of you, the local, how have you seen it change? Because, by the way, we also have got classification for players. Mimi najua nitaanza pale chini. But for them, they're somewhere else at the top. Yeah. How have you seen this change and people get, classified by it?
That is it's a special game, actually. So the more you involve yourself into it, the more you get better. And with the system like the one match play has, of having group stage where you interact, you have different players, they challenge you, and then you have an opportunity to play with another one. The first day, so you involve yourself in many games. This one improved performance of our Kenyan players, and now within a period of 1 year, it's not the same. Things has changed, the performance has changed. We have good players in Kenya, and you can't even predict who is going to win even in the on weekends game. So we have good players in Kenya. So I think it has now brought us together, and it has increased our averages and performance. Yeah.
Washuri, msururu wa Kenya, hebu tuelezee ulivyo kwa sasa, kwa sababu najua kwa miaka miwili umeangalia watu wanavyocheza.
Kwa kweli mchezo wa darts imeamka sana, na kuna wale tu watu wamesportiwa. I think niko mmoja wao. Munywa pia sahii ako spotted sana. Kila mchezaji, hata yeyote mwenye anataka kuingia darts leo, anajitahidi sana kwanza apige Munywa, sasa ndio aweze kuingia vizuri. So pia
ndio ilikuwa mpango ya Kaimenyi
kabisa. Kila mchezaji sasa, okay fine, Kaimenyi pia ni mchezaji mzuri. Yeah, he is a part of a good player. Na pia kuna wengine kuna kina Madume huko, kuna Wajie, Peter Wajie, kina Gaido, kuna wachezaji wengi sana. Actually hata wako zaidi ya 20 ama kitu kama hicho. Na wakiwekwa pamoja hata unaweza shangaa sana. Mwenye una predict si yeye, unakuta ule mwenye muoni ndio anashinda. They are good players na wanazidi bado kufanya mazoezi ndio kuinua pia mchezo wao.
Jambo lingine, I think Pendu, the first time, and each one of you've come with your set of like, so the one thing is interesting about Kenya and darts. Kenya, if you go anywhere in the world and you look for a dart board, it's made in Kenya. So I know there is that challenge. Unajua wakati uliambiwa kwa Washuri, kiambiwa ile dart board imetoka kwenu. How does it now change the way we want to communicate to people? Wajue ya kwamba sio mchezo kweli unafaa kuwa hapa nyumbani.
Kweli darts inatengenezwa hapa kwetu. Lakini hapa kwetu hatuitumii venye inafaa. Huko nje ndio inatumiwa zaidi. Sababu each and every day I think kama Winmau huanga wanatengeneza like either 3000 boards na zote karibu zote za kuexport. So kumaanisha hapa bado tuko chini, hatujachukua hiyo mchezo vizuri. Na tunafaa kuichukua sababu I think inania kama miaka 2 hapa Kenya kutakuwa na wachezaji wengi na wazuri zaidi, hata World Cup wote karibu wote watakuwa wakisimamia.
Haya, so you've come with the equipment. First of all, let me start with you, David.
Yeah. You know, this depends with one. You should understand your level, your position. Are you a new player? Have you ever played that? So you need to understand where do you start, because it varies. You have different weight, and also so if you are a new player, you need to first of all know which is the light dart for you, which is the light arrow for you. It's also, it has different aspects. What work you do, how often do you do practice? Like for instance, for me, I started with 24. Then I went to 20, I went to 16, then go back to 20. It depends with how often do you play, how, what game do you want to involve yourself in. If it's more games, then you need to be fit. If it's just for practice, you need to first of all learn how to do it. The medium dart, 24 can be a good dart, 24, 26 to start with. But if you get to professionalism, then you need to have a dart that you can sustain the performance from the beginning to the end. Sure.
Because you are the final here was meant to be, it was 15.
Yeah, best of 15, yeah.
Out of 15. Yeah. So you've got to take 8.
Yeah, you have to take 8.
Now, and here you are. How have you seen that? And also, because you have to keep moving your arm,
sure.
How you do it, and to ensure that maybe injuries are off and things like that.
I think it's like any other game. You need to do practice. You need to be, also it involves mental. You need to be aware of your, you know that is also a very difficult game. There's a mind game, strategical game. Also, you need to check on your diet, timing, how many games have you played to be in final? So how well are you, to get to the final? Already you're exhausted, you're very tired. Sometimes people, at different prayers, you find them taking much water, go back to it. So you need to find your way, yourself, your own way, how to keep yourself fit, to start from the beginning to the end. Yeah.
You've mentioned about diet and what's the right way to do. For example, for the event you had here at CQ.
Yeah.
You played your final game Sangapi, some 8 p.m.
Yeah,
It's coming to a close at 8. So how do you go through that day and you don't slow yourself down?
No, diet varies with different individuals. You know, my diet will not do with Washeri. So how you know is involving yourself in such tournament like we have in Nakuru. So you know, I'll still be fit up to 8. If the game is starting from 10 a.m. and you're sure you get to the finals, so let's say at 8. So you need to keep yourself fit because these games you're not going to just go to the final. You're just going to meet different player with different returns, with different performance. So you need to be fit. You know, diet now, that's why you know, if I eat ugari so much, then I'll feel so, you use so much energy. So you need to also know what do you take to be fit from morning to the evening. Yeah.
Washeri, equipment yako. What, somebody came up and said, here is your equipment and here it is. Equipment ambayo umepewa. How have you worked with your sponsors such that one, yours are customized? Hebu tuonyeshe tu. Sababu ziko na rangi ya bendera.
Ziko na rangi ya bendera hapa. Ni ya kutoka kwa dhamini wangu Winmau. Idati nzuri sana. Hii dat ni 22 grams lakini mimi saa zingine huanga naongezea ipini. Sasa hii exactly ni 22. Though kuna ingine natumianga saa zingine maybe iko na pin mrefu hapa kidogo kuliko zingine za kawaida. Depending na throw yako mahali unataka iende, vino unashika una hold dat yako hivyo hivyo.
Haya. Hebu tuelezee kwa urefu wa pin na na ukitumia for example hizo unaweza tuonyesha na moja ya munywa. Tofauti ya hizo pin.
Actually ukiangalia pia hapa tofauti ya munywa. Hizi ndizo tunamaanisha pins.
Yes.
Balance ni kama the same lakini pins tofauti. Ukiangalia tu hapa vizuri utaona tu kweli unaona kama kuna half inch bado.
Yes.
Na sasa hii ni fupi pia. Kuna ingine pia iko na karibu 1 inch mbele. Yeah. So kwangu mimi inaweza nilemea kidogo. Sababu mimi huanga napima na hii pin. Yeah. Lakini pia si kunilemea though itahitaji maybe nichukue 1 week kufanya mazoezi na hii ndio nielewe sasa.
Haya, tofauti ya urefu ya hiyo pin. Tukiangalia sasa kwako, umesema kuna moja ambayo iko na pin ndefu zaidi. Haya, tueleze sasa kuhusu hiyo pali unatumia hiyo pin mrefu ama kama na wakati unaibadilisha ukiwa kwa mchezo.
Kuna venue zingine unaendanga unakuta si standard. Saa zile umeenda venue iko na baridi natumianga hii pin ndogo hii. Nikienda ile venue iko perfect natumia zile mrefu. Sababu kabla ifika kwa bodi ile mrefu itakuwa maybe imetwistiwa na baridi. Hii sasa ikiwa mfupi haitakuwa imetwistiwa. Yeah.
Tofauti. Haya, throwing style sasa we've seen. Now let's hear it from you.
I think
kila mtu yake.
Throwing style kila mtu kwanza kuhold that kila mtu tofauti yake. Throwing pia tofauti kabisa. Kuna wale wako na throw through, kuna wengine kama mimi yangu hata wazungu itawachanganya. Wanasema natumia 5 different styles. Wenyewe hawajui ni gani natumia.
Wani unawachanganya?
I just throw my dart. Mimi nashangaa wanasema ati niko na style 5. Of which mimi najua ni moja tu.
Okay, hiyo yako moja basi. Tuonyeshe kushika.
You just hold that like this. Lakini saa zile mimi nikirudisha hivi wanasemanga bado na hii twist. Kuna wengine wakishika hivi wanarudisha hivi wakirusha. Mimi nikishika hivi ni saa zile narudisha hivi tena na twist. I think ndio hapo na wachanganyia sana kidogo.
Do you know that is how I know you throw a dart? That
when you release like this,
there is a way. Yeah. You know, videos show you, and we actually see your kitu ikitwist.
Yes, he does that.
Yeah? He does that. Sasa wewe pengine haujui
tofauti sana na maybe yeye.
Haya, sasa tukuje kwako.
Yangu ni tofauti. Because me, I don't have to twist like he does. Yeah.
You can do it with that.
Yeah,
So that
you know,
it's exactly-
Washuri has learned to have, you know, he's a professional player. He has learned how to have a muscle memory. He might not even recognize it. So when he does it like this, it's easier than it is. So for me, what I do is I just hold it how I hold, you know, like a pen. How you hold a pen. Then you need to practice well enough to learn how to release on the right time with the right through. I have a follow through. I just don't release. I release and then I have to release also my hand to create a. It has made me maybe to have an easier way of doing it, because I don't have to keep remembering what to do in the next game and all the other games. So if I practice doing the same thing, then it will be very easy for me when it comes to game or to competition to do the same.
Let me come to you, Peng, and just give us, you know, the full phase of the women's game. You are a player yourself.
Yeah.
Na pia that zako utatuonyesha. You will also give us your playing style.
Yeah. With the women's, so far, we've been playing in the mixed tournaments. So the women participate in all the match plays, even the ACTs. So, but we usually have a women category. So they'll play in the mixed game and also play a separate women's tournament. But we're looking to develop the women's sector as of next year, just to also build on that sector, because we have so many women playing and top players as well. Yeah, like Susan Wanja, we have Millicent, we have Setu, and myself. Yeah.
Lazima ungejiweka kwa list. So, and looking at it, how is it now, number one, making it socially acceptable? There's a story about this sport. It used to be sponsored by a beer farm, and the players would actually have frothy drinks there as they are playing. But everything has changed. In fact, kuna report moja ilisemekana ya kwamba nyinyi bila kuchapa kitu hakuna kuona mnaona, but it is the opposite. So how is it becoming more socially acceptable? Such that, you know, somebody can go there, play the darts without, without, you know, that there is that feeling, unaenda kufanya nini kwa wale watu. How are you doing that?
Okay, so at the moment, yeah, players can have their drinks. And, you know, as people can see, we've moved away from just being at the pub and playing darts for fun. People have seen it's a professional game. So, yeah, players still have their drinks behind the scene. And when you go to play your game, when you're on the oki, you're having your water. So we're not really much displaying the alcohol you're taking, but you can enjoy your drink, because lazima will release nerves. You have to get to your zone. It's not necessary, but there are those players who really require it.
We have seen youngsters, people who are under 18 and doing this, getting involved with the game. What are you doing to make sure that, they are in that environment is safe? If as there is a regulator for sports in this country, and also maneno ya child protection, such that if they find these children there, everyone knows they're here legitimately with their parents, with the right adults, and they are safe.
Yeah, so with the children who come for the darts games, because we have a number of them, usually accompanied by their guardians, but when it comes to the alcohol bit of it, in the playing section, in the playing area, there's no alcohol in that section. Usually it's a designated area where the kids can't access. But within the playing area where players are interacting, there's no alcohol present. And in any case, there's guardians, and we ensure that that is followed.
Well, and now trying to make ways to bring in sponsors. I mean, you've spoken about some wild figures in PDC. ADC, we also saw the figure, £150,000. It's not small money. How are corporates responding? I know I was at CQ Union, I could see a few banners. They tell a story coming in. How are corporates responding to this?
There's interest out there, especially now that they're seeing that, okay, like darts is back, and it's people are going places, And we've been talking to a couple of brands who are very keen, and we are hoping that they'll come on board for the Nairobi Darts Masters, because that's going to be the biggest tournament in Africa in terms of prize pot. And yeah, we're still keeping the conversation, and we're still asking more corporates to support darts as a sport, because the players need the support. And even the clubs that are organizing these events, we need the support. And it's a good platform for brands, because you can sponsor a player as an individual, you can sponsor the club. There's many routes for the brands to come in. Yeah.
Now let me come to the Nairobi Masters. It's going to be the culminating of this safari. Having watched how you do this, and having, I know, slowly now to even get involved with live broadcast eventually, on online platforms, how are you able, for example, secure a venue? Because people may not know this, but actually that can actually take up space, and a lot. How are you doing to manage this?
Yeah, so far we've been having our events at Broadwalk, which is a very big space, because it can accommodate up to even 800 people, including players and fans. And in the past, from the qualifier where we held our first event, we were lucky enough to have sponsors who supported us in terms of setup. We had Kapla, we had Samsung, who provided the tablets for the games. Nairobi Sports House also came through with a bit of tokens. And yeah, so it's a huge cost, honestly, to even pay for the venue itself, to pay for the setup. But we also have well-wishers. There are people who've been supporting us throughout, ever since we started. And we're still looking to have their support moving forward, and hopefully have bigger brands with bigger budgets just supporting the whole process.
Nairobi Masters, looking at what you've seen, what's the way forward? Kwambia watu tufike pale, and your venue for Nairobi itakuwa?
Itakuwa Broadwalk Mall.
Broadwalk Mall.
Yeah.
Yes, that is on Ojijo Road.
Yeah.
So you can't miss that place. Munywa,
yes,
getting ready for this, and also getting ready for Ali Pali. That is late. I mean, or definitely after the Masters.
Yeah.
Tuambie, your preparation, ways that you're doing to get this.
Yeah, so far I'm just focused on my improving my game, and this is our first time to have a Kenya playing in Ali Pali, a bit of challenging, but I hope it's going to be a good process. From being a professional player, there is a lot of things that are expected from you, from moving from places to places. Other thing, you need to be well prepared. So I think for now, it's 2 weeks now from I was mentioned to, I won Africa Champion Qualifier. So, and then I went to South Africa. It's been a squeezing moment. Now I'm settling down to influence to have little influence to our supporters, because the budget is huge. To Ministry of Sport, a lot of people. I need a lot of things to be done, and that's why also we need people like you to intervene, so that at least it gets easy. As much as I'm representing my country and as a continent as well. An individual coming from a certain country, that they're not looking at me, they're looking at my country as well. So I'm preparing. First thing I'm doing is to be fit in my practice, and anytime I'm requested to do something, or I need to do something else, I'll be ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashuri, you have a story to tell. When you went for the pairs the following day, the Celebrity Cup or something.
Influence.
Yeah. Influence Cup, yes. You mentioned something about gharama ya kusafiri, the cost of traveling. So just take us through that experience, and so that more people can come in, so that they understand that if they see you in Modus once or twice a year, si ati umekataa kwenda.
Okay, honestly, gharama ya kusafiri iko juu sana. Okay, fine. Hata maisha, unajua pale pia maisha iko juu. Si kama hapa umezoea, if you have your 100 bob umekula. I think pale pia kukula lazima uwe na like 2000 ama 1000, 1500 kitu kama hicho. So inakuwa na changamoto sana. Umezoea kukula mara 2 kwa siku, pale lazima ujifunge my friend. Itabidi tu na sikutaka, so unatafuta tu ile kitu kitakusustain mpaka hiyo masaa uweze kucheza ya.
Unangojea masaa fulani unaweka
sasa hiyo ndio unakula, hata unaweza kula meal mara moja. Yeah, because you are not stable, lakini natumai watu watajitokeza na watashikilia wachezaji pia.
Sawa kabisa. And so remember, yes, we've got the Masters. It's a darts competitions just coming a couple of weeks in November, so it's going to be the best. And as we wind up, I want to say thank you. And, yes, she's with Zero Darts Group. David Munyo, he has qualified for the Professional Darts Corporation World Championship. He's going to the Alexandra Palace, Ali Pali in the UK. And then Peter Washuri, he's qualified for the Amateur Dart Circuit World Championships. It's going to be in Portsmouth at a place known as the Modest Studios. It's a place built for darts only. So we've got 2 Kenyans headed to the UK, and we hope that they will be on point. Santeni sana. Time for me to wind up. Thank you for being with us. Over the past 2 hours, we shall now be taking a break, and when we come back, will be here, and the story is Kurunzi Mashinani, followed by Tamrini. Our sign language interpreter has been Lensa Odingo. My name is Daniel Wahome. Have a good day.